Good morning, y'all. I don't know that anybody will actually get on here today, but I wanted to record something about what I'm doing here today. So I'm sitting here in my sewing room, taking out a hem of a skirt that has kind of a little bit of a story to it. I have a lot of stuff going through my mind right now, and I just felt like I have learned so many lessons around life and how God wants us to live it. And I figured maybe it would help somebody. So, I might be taking out a skirt today, a skirt hem, but the lesson here that I'm wanting to talk about is the value of finishing a project. And just yesterday, I heard a girl on YouTube talking about her sewing project. She actually did a really cool experiment, I guess, where she was sewing for an hour a day for an entire month. And actually, I'm going to try to do that too, because I always somehow come up with these excuses or other projects that need to be instead of this one, instead of sewing. And to be real with you guys, I would love it if I could sew every day. I love sewing. But it's also kind of a love-hate relationship. And here's why. Because often I think I know more than I do, and I surge ahead, no pun intended, for those of you that are sewers. And I make mistakes. That's what happened with this project. Here's the story. It's story time. This is a beautiful, heavyweight linen material. And I have had the same navy blue work skirt, like cotton skirt. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool, and it was getting very faded. It's gotten bleach marks on it. And I was a little embarrassed to wear it out. And so I decided, I'm going to make myself a skirt. So I prayed about it. And if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably heard me talk about the Lord. The Lord is a big part of my life. And I prayed to him and I said, Lord, I'd really love some beautiful blue fabric, but I don't really know what it is. And I occasionally go to Goodwill and I check things out there. Goodwill never has good fabric, ever, really. And hi to whoever's on right now. It's good to see you this morning. It's a bright and early 9:45 here in Tennessee. But I asked the Lord, I said, I really would like some fabric. And I actually have a whole ream of blue linen fabric here in the sewing room. It's a little lighter weight, and it's not the highest quality. I bought a whole ream of it because I love navy blue, and I thought this would be a really great fabric to make stuff out of. By the way, hi to anyone that's new. I'm ripping out a seam hem, a hem seam, and I'm talking about the story behind this skirt. And I was almost done with the skirt, but I realized after I hemmed it was too short, and the waistband was way too bulky. It's a very thick linen fabric. My mother, who lives with us, I went down and told her my story. And I was like, is there any way to do this right, Mom? Like, without taking the whole thing out? She looked at me, she's like, no. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm taking it out. And this lady that was on YouTube yesterday that I was listening to, she had done a short talking about finishing projects and how she had had this one dress that had been sitting there unfinished. And hi everybody that's new. I'm talking about finishing projects and is it worth it if you've made a big mistake, which I did with this dress, with this skirt. And so she was talking about taking out, finishing this dress that she had, finishing this dress that she had had sitting there in her room for so long. And so she finished it. And it did not even fit her. And she was talking about the value of finishing projects. And I was like, that is a really tough thing. If I know something is not going to work, I am not going to go back and finish it. Just not. I'm going to get rid of it. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys finish projects if you know it is just not going to work? I don't. I have too many other projects along. So anyway, this skirt, I hemmed it and it was way too short. And I was like, I do not want to go back and rehem it. I don't want to take everything out. Thanks for joining me, you guys, Robbie and Tim Panics. Do you guys sew? It'd be awesome if you did. My little boy, I don't know if you guys are male or female, but my little boy is 6 years old and he's very interested in sewing. And traditionally, most tailors have been men. It's only now that it's kind of a lost art that a lot of people are picking back up. But anyway, this woman was like finishing this dress, and it was a great dress, but it was one that I could tell she did not want to wear. She was not going to wear it. And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, what is the value of our time? Do we finish projects that we know are not work? Or do we take them apart and deal with it? So this fabric, I'm going to continue that. I'm sorry, I'm a little ADD, and so I'll kind of go all over the place. If you can follow me, my husband says I have like a spaghetti brain and he has a waffle brain. Have you ever heard of that? It's like, I guess the difference between how men and women think typically, but anyway. So this fabric, going back to my Goodwill story, I was just in Goodwill. We were looking around. The kids were looking for, I think it was a China doll or something. And I happened to walk over to the corner of the store, and forgive me, it was not Goodwill, it was Restore, the Habitat for Humanity store. And I happened to go over to the corner of the store, and there in a pile were like 2 or 3 beautiful fabrics. I was shocked. I was like, what in the world? And so I walk up to it. After praying about this, I would love a navy blue fabric, and I love natural fabrics. I don't like using fabrics that have plastic in them. And there was this beautiful blue linen fabric. And I was so shocked, I didn't even know what to say. I was like thinking to myself, no, that must be really expensive. So I look at the price and it's $10. I'm like, $10? That must be like half a roll of fabric, half a yard of fabric. So I pick it up and I look at it, and it's one of those really tight rolls. So you can't really tell how much is on. You can't unroll it and Restore. And I'm like, you know what? For $10, if it's at least a yard, I'm gonna get it. So I did and got it because it looked like it was at least a yard. This was my waistband. I'm taking this out too, because like I said, if you missed it at the beginning, my waistband was way, way, way too tight. Like not too tight, but too thick, because this is such a beautiful fabric. It probably would have been better as an apron or maybe even upholstery, but I loved this fabric so much I wanted to make it into a skirt, so I did. That's what I'm doing right now. But now I'm taking it all out. So needless to say, the Lord, I believe, provided this fabric for me. And so then when I made it into a skirt and it was not right, it made me very sad. And I realized well, sorry, it made me sad when it came out wrong. I apologize. I'm tired still. It's only 10 a.m., but I'm tired. I'd made it too short, and the waistband was way too thick, so I'm gonna have to rethink this. So anyway, I'm taking it out because this is a valuable fabric. It's something I know I'm gonna wear when I get it done. And boy, it's tough to get projects done around here because I have 4 kids, I homeschool, I, keep the house, try to keep the house as clean as possible. But I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish. And I'm gonna be doing my hour a day in sewing. And I just wanted to encourage you guys in that. If you guys have projects sitting around, look at them and say, am I gonna enjoy this once I finish it? If it's messed up, ask yourself, do I have to back in order to finish it? And then ask yourself, is it worth finishing it? And if it's yes to any of those questions, assess, am I willing to that? And is it worth it to me? And if it's worth it to you, backtrack, fix your issues, fix the project. If it's not worth it to you, pack it up and hand it to someone who might enjoy it. Like send it to Restore or send it to Goodwill, whatever it is that however you want to recycle it. Don't just get rid of it if it's a good fabric, especially. If it's plastic, gosh, I wish they had never made plastic because there's no way to get rid of it in a responsible manner. But, pass it along to someone who might appreciate it. Even if it's partly made up into a garment, cut it apart, make it usable for someone else, or stop thinking maybe someone else will finish this. So I guess that's my encouragement for today. Thank you for your thumbs ups. That's very sweet. It was just my thoughts for how are you going to approach life and the things that are worth it to you, the things that aren't worth it to you. A big part of my life right now too is, hi to whomever just got on. A big part of it to whomever, a big of my life right now is also minimizing. It's not just finishing projects that are worth it, but it's minimizing things too. And part of that is assessing whether it's something that I even want in my life. So I would encourage you to go forth in this day and decide, are these things that I want in life? If they are, make time for them. If they aren't, get rid of them. Right now, I'm making time to finish this beloved skirt of mine. I hope you make time for the things that are important to you and that you're greatly blessed today and that you realize that you're important enough not to leave stuff just sitting around, not to leave stuff that is junk in your house. Get rid of it, and it's going to want to do something with it. I pray that you're greatly blessed. This is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Be blessed. If I can figure out how to end this, I'm glad you guys joined me. Well, maybe the Lord doesn't want me to get off this. It's not going bye-bye. I don't know how to turn this off. Let's see. Okay. Bye for now.